I have decided to read the Goodreads Romantasy Choice Awards this year because I'm obsessed with romantasy. I'm in my romantasy journey. As of such, though, romantasy books tend to be in series. Since I'm also new to my romantasy journey, I have not necessarily been caught up with many of the popular series that everybody reads, like Zodiac Academy or From Blood and Ash. And so I decided that in order to read the top 10 this year, I have to catch up on the series that I know for sure will be in there. That does mean that there are probably over 40 books that I have to read between now and the middle of November. And I am going to take on that task with a couple of vlogs at a time. So welcome to episode 1 of Rainy Reads All the Romantasy. Here we go. Okay, both my children are in here. You're just gonna have to deal. It's hurricane party time because apparently there's a hurricane coming towards us, but we live so far inland, I'm not actually worried about it, but we are still relocating to my mother-in-law's. But I needed to give an update because I started with Assistant to the Villain. More so because I have never been itching to pick this up because everyone says it's more of a cozy fantasy than a fantasy romance and that it's not very well written because it was made by a TikTok girly who, you know, was making TikToks about being an assistant to the villain, and it got so popular that Red Tower Books picked her up to write a book about this series. I don't really think it needs a series, but you know, it is what it is. Anyway, I haven't been like itching to pick it up. But book number 2 was the number 2 choice. It almost won. I mean, I didn't almost win because Fourth Wing like annihilated it. But it was the second choice. So I figure I have to read this so that I'm prepared to read the second one. Am I loving my life with this? No. I'm 30% in and I'm not having a good time for a couple of reasons. One, it's dual POV, but it's only narrated by a girl, which is fine. But it's not even in first person. It's in third person, which confuses me to no freaking end. It's not easy to follow. So like, it'll be in the villain's perspective, and then he'll say like, "I'm so sorry," Tristan said as he went over to her. And I'm like, no. Why are we doing third person? I don't understand. It makes it really hard for me to remember whose POV we're in. Also, I feel like hardly anything has happened. And like, there have been a couple of like cute little moments where I'm like, okay, that's cute. Like, I appreciate that. But like, it's nothing substantial. So far, it's probably going to be a 2.5 or a 3. I don't really see it getting higher than that, but I do need to finish this. I did message my friend Julie to ask about her thoughts on this because she is actually reading this. She is literally handing me one thing at a time from my desk. Anyway, what was I saying? I asked my friend Julie if she's enjoying it or not because she happens to be reading it at the same time as me, and so we will see. Also, isn't this the best bookmark ever? My little friend-themed bookmark moment. Hold on, Lincoln. Oh, thank you, Weezy. Anyway, so my thoughts are I'm not absolutely loving it. What is it even about? It's about a girl, Evie, who works for a villain. And that's really all I could tell you because, like I said, there's not that much going on. I mean, the underlying thing is that someone is trying to hurt the villain and you're trying to figure out who it is. And so like, that's the mystery of it all. But like, outside of that, like, there's not a lot really going on. Okay. So yeah, my plan is to finish this today so that I can like knock out a book, say that we've been successful, so that I only have the second book to read come November. Because, like, I know that I'm going to have to read that. And then I'm probably going to switch over to one of the bigger series. I'm not continuing with Zodiac just yet. I might go over to From Blood and Ash and start that big one. Because there's, like, 9 books I have to read. Or 8 books before I get to the book that I need to. But I also have to read Scarlet St. Clair. I don't really know what the move is after this. But this is the priority for the moment. Alright, I'm going to go read.
I love the way you take it slow. You make this light inside me glow. You're the only one who knows me. Saturate me when I'm gray until all my colors show. I get lost in those hazy eyes. I'm in love with these lazy nights. So maybe we can stay back, lay back here and enjoy the ride. I don't wanna feel the night. I just wanna chill under the northern lights with you, with you. I'll do whatever you want me to do.
Hello, friends. I have finished, and it's a 2-star. 2 stars, friends. I literally was skimming the last like 100 pages of this. I did not enjoy this book. Did not enjoy it. I thought it was really boring. The POV was throwing me off. I could not care less about any characters, anything that's going on. This is not a fantasy romance. This is a very cozy fantasy with like a sprinkle of like they might like each other. This was not. And then like what happened big reveal pissed me off, honestly. I was not here for it. I just think that this is a TikTok girly that should not have written a book, is really where we're at. I really, really, really don't want to read the sequel. And yes, I could read it now and get it over with, but I'm not reading that book unless I absolutely have to, unless I know that it's going to be in the top 10. And so I'm just waiting for, you know, the awards to come out, but I don't know how I'm gonna endure another book. Like, and I'm not buying it. I'm listening to just audio for that. But like, this was so bad. I could not care less about this book. Could not care less. And I'm very sad that I wasted my life. But you know what I'm not sad about that I just did? A special edition of House of Bane and Blood. The slipcover says, "Wanting you isn't hard, princess. It's all the rest that makes it difficult." And then, whoosh, look at this. It's stunning. And it's nice little end papers. And then, wait. It's signed. And the whole book is just pretty in general. And I like how there's like this fun little design in the middle of the book. I'm kind of obsessed with this. And I got it for $20. A lot of people were selling it for more than that. But someone was selling it sealed, completely unopened for $20. And so I got it. Very excited with that purchase. So anyway, that is all that I have for this update for you. I will see you in a little bit, and I don't even know what book I'm reading next, but I'll know once you see it. Good morning, friends. I'm terrible at updating my vlogs as of late, but it's fine. Everything's fine. So I have started Bride by Ali Hazelwood because I know that this is going to be in the top 10, and so I'm reading this way ahead of time. But you're seeing it in my reading the top 10 books for Goodreads Romantasy. And I am on page 118, and so I'm about 30% into this book. And I don't like this book. I don't like it. Let me tell you why. One, I'm very bored, which is not something that I ever thought I would say in an Ali Hazelwood book. Like, it's not even the fact that obviously there's no steam yet, like, which is also weird. I feel like steam happens pretty quickly in Ali Hazelwood books, but that's not the case with this. It's more that, like, the concept of this is interesting, that there's a vampire and a werewolf, and they have to get married in order to, like, keep the alliance / like, war away from the vampires and the werewolf. But there's an ulterior motive for why Misery, the vampire, is so keen on getting married to this vampire, or to this werewolf. And I feel like I can't say, because that's, like, a pretty big spoiler, but I wasn't expecting that. So it just was something I wasn't sure I was actually interested in. But the other thing is, I'm just bored because the politics and stuff are not making sense to me. It's just, I just don't feel like this is her wheelhouse. So I'm struggling with understanding what's going on. I don't really care for either of them. They're both just kind of agitating. And I'm not gonna lie, there's been like one or two things that I just go, why is that happening? Like, for one, at the beginning of every single chapter, they have like a quote, and it's just any random quote. But it's always voiced by a male narrator, which made me wonder, why did you not make this dual narrated then if you're going to pay to have that guy come in and say the quotes at the beginning of every chapter? But the thing that more killed me, and I had already heard about this before from Brie, because she hated this book, it was that there was this line where the girl goes, "I grabbed a spatula or a ladle." I can't remember which one. And I'm like, you don't know the difference between a spatula and a ladle? And then my further question is, why did we think that that was like necessary information that needed to be added into the story? Like, that's really what I'm wondering here. So anyway, I'm not loving this, but I don't want to DNF it because I know 100% that this is going to be in the top 10 and it's a standalone and I could knock it out really quick. I only have 2 days left with the audio because I've been dragging my feet trying to read this. So I need to get to this. I have about 40 minutes right now before class, and I'm just going to read my little heart out and see how far I can get. Hello, friends. You're getting an update while my voice is, gone, because that's just what it is. It's just gone. Anyway, I need to update you or else I'll never update you. I'm 70% into this book and I fear it's just not that good. However, there are moments that are good, like the smutty things. I'm just telling you, Ali Hazelwood knows how to write a smutty book, okay? She really does. And like the vampire werewolf dynamic of like them in a relationship is quite fascinating to me. Okay, I can't say that it doesn't do anything for me. However, I'm just really bored at certain parts. This just doesn't feel like an Ali Hazelwood. It does in the smutty sense, but it doesn't in everything else. just because she does write feminist novels. It's not the same. It's all right. It's not doing anything special. It's most likely going to get a 3-star. I've been dragging my feet having to read this book because I just haven't been interested, which is sad because this is the second book in a row for this vlog that is not going well. However, I know that From Blood and Ash is going to be a hit. I'm not worried about that, and I will probably start that later today once I finish this because I know this vlog is coming out soon. But I'm just not having a great time. I'm not. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I've never given an Ellie Hazelwood less than 4 stars. So, you know, it be what it be. It is a book that I am reading. Everyone is telling me I should DNF, but you know what? I'm 70% in. I'm gonna finish this bad boy. So that's what I've got for you. I'm sure I will be back with an update at some point. Although I guess I could say that when I came home today, this was also here. This was my Fairy Loot or Illumicrate, I can't remember, edition, Fairy Loot of Howl's Moving Castle, which I think it is absolutely stunning. Very pretty. I'm really loving it. Have I ever read it? No. Do I want to? Yes. I mean, it just sounds so cute, so fun. And I love that each chapter header has a different picture. I feel like that really adds to the story. So this is quite beautiful. Obsessed. Yeah, I feel like those are the updates I really have. So I'm gonna get to finishing this book. You will see me in this same shirt. Update this vlog. Mark my words, or else I'm gonna be really freaking mad at myself. Okay, bye. Friends, I know it's a little dark, and I could turn the light on, but I don't want people to see me because I'm in the Blaze parking lot waiting for my food. And yes, my voice is still gone. It's the day after the hurricane. Places have opened back up. Thank God we were fine. The cone moved, the hurricane moved like the day before, and we ended up out of the cone, so we got the very outer edges of it. It was very, very good, so thank you for that. But anyway, I figured while I'm waiting for my pizza, because I'm about 5 minutes early before it said it would be ready, I would show you my aardvark book box that got here. I am obsessed with aardvark. I have officially switched from Book of the Month, because Book of the Month is absolutely terrible. That's what it is. And they normally do these little aardvark bookmarks, but it says 2 years, fresh ears, which means I think they have changed their bookmarks because they used to be out of paper and they were not the best quality. This is like plastic. It's really cute. I'm excited for it. But the book that I got for the month was This Cursed House by Del Sandine. And it is a Southern Gothic horror haunted house. And I'm not normally a haunted house girly. I haven't really found a haunted house book that I vibe with very much, but I'm willing to try this. I love that aardvark promotes diversity in their selections and their authors. Like, this is a debut Black author, I'm pretty sure. And so I'm very excited to read this. And all I know that it takes place in the 1960s, so I'm sure it's going to be really good. And then I got this next book because everybody and their mother's talking about it, and I want to know why it's so good, and I have to listen to the audio apparently, so I might have to buy it on Audible because it's several months wait. It's Bury Your Gaze by Chuck Tingle. I know I'm not in the thriller horror era, but I want to read this. Everybody says it's so good. Everybody says the audiobook is so good. Everyone just says it's so good. I've not heard one person that has read this say that it's bad, so you know what? I need to make it onto the list. So maybe, since we're doing it's spooky time anyway, worker drove by, maybe we can have a spooky vlog coming soon to you, okay? But anyway, I'm gonna go inside, pick up my food. I'll check in with you soon.
I get lost in those hazy eyes. I'm in love with these lazy nights. So maybe we can stay back, lay back here and enjoy the ride. I don't wanna feel the night. I just wanna chill under the northern lights with you. I'll do whatever you want me to do.
Hello friends, it is I have finished, as you have seen, and it is a 3-star. It was alright. It just was. I mean, the ending was cute. I am frustrated that the epilogue was literally in Lo's perspective, the werewolf, which, I mean, I said at the beginning that, like, each chapter starts with a quote of, like, how Lo is feeling in that moment, and I kind of wish that this had been dual POV. I feel like it would have been much more interesting dual POV because I really loved Lo. So I was frustrated in that regard, and I did like how it ended. It was, like, alright, it was cute. I'm glad there wasn't, like, a werewolf vampire pregnancy or anything, but, you know, it was just okay.
I don't know what else to say to this. Do I think that it should win Goodreads if it, gets into the romantasy category? No. Do I think it's going to score insanely high because it's Allie Hazelwood? Yes, it'll probably be in the top 3, honestly. It might even be number 2. I don't think it'll be number 1 because of Crescent City. But yeah, it's probably going to be up there. And apparently Eloise was messing with it because this page is like all dented, which I'm going to have to fix this if I want to sell it on Pango, because I probably will post this up on Pango after the Goodreads choices and all that. So I'll fix that for now. But it was whatever. I don't know if she's going to turn this into a series, like not necessarily with them, but like either following different characters or like having a different monster in this paranormal world. I don't know if this is a standalone or not, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. It was okay. It was okay. And I don't really have any more energy to waste on an okay book. So we're going to dive right into From Blood and Ash. I'm so excited for this reread. I need to start it because I need to get crack-a-lacking on the rest of the series if I'm going to read the last book for Romantasy, because I know that it's going to be on there. So I will come to you as soon as I have an update today. All right, it's time for Conversations with Rainy on the Road. 1, my voice is still kind of gone. 2, I forgot my car camera stand holder, so I perched you on top of like where the radio is because there's like a dip, but I don't know how long that's gonna work. I am on a road, straight road, hopefully for like the next 7-8 miles, so maybe it'll work. But anyway, I'm currently headed to the next town over for my best friend's wedding, which is tomorrow. I can't believe it. My best friend is getting married. I've known her I've known her for years, but I've known her boyfriend just as long as her fiance, now husband, because they were already dating when I met her about 6 or 7 years ago. Anyway, I'm very excited, and I can't think too much about it because I will end up crying, which I'm sure I'll cry tomorrow because she moves on November 1st to Michigan, and I'm very sad about it because that's my best friend moving away, but it'll be fine. That's also my circus duet buddy, so it's just a little bit sad. It's harder for me. But I'm very excited to go celebrate her and love on her this weekend. But I figured I would come up here and give you an update. I had planned on reading a shit ton of From Blood and Ash today, and that did not happen because there was just things that needed to get done. There was, Lincoln had a really, really hard day at school today. There were a lot of things that happened that I just kept getting emailed about. And so I had to spend a lot of time talking to my tiny human. And there's just a lot of feelings going on and a lot of behaviors being copied that are not necessarily ideal. So we're just struggling. But I know that it's a rough patch. We'll get through it. But as a regardless, I did not get very far. So I am only 28% of the way into From Blood and Ash. And this is a reread for me because I read it 2 years ago and then I never continued on. And I figured if I'm going to read the rest of the series right now, I might as well read it because I remember absolutely loving it. And I'm still absolutely loving it. I'm having a great time. And a lot of things make more sense now that I know what's happening, and it just makes more sense in general. I was a little confused the first time I read it because I will say the world building is like not the greatest thing I've ever seen, but it's still really good. So this is about Poppy, and she is a maiden, and the maiden has been chosen by the gods, like they're the gods' favorite people, and they have to do the Ascension, which essentially, I don't remember exactly what the Ascension is, but like it's a big ceremony, a big rite of passage, and once they ascend, they'll become immortal, and they're like found pleasing to the gods. But anyway, like there have been maidens before her, they no longer are, like she's not very excited to have to become the maiden. But as the maiden, you must conceal your face at all the times. You can't show anybody who you are. And so of course she doesn't necessarily want to be the maiden. And so in the beginning of the book, she like disappears to go to this tavern to like see how the other side lives and like see the things that she's missing out on. She's also has to be a virgin. And she ends up accidentally almost having a rendezvous with this very handsome guard. She knows who he is. He doesn't know who she is. And then it just so happens that he ends up having to be her new guard after an attack happens on her guards. And so, of course, he's going to find out that it was the same woman that he was with, the maiden. And so it's like their forbidden romance. But then also there's this giant war going on, like beyond past this War of Two Kings, where there's this like vampire-ish, monster-ish creatures that are like here. It's just a whole thing. And I'm not explaining it very well, obviously. But you know, it be what it be. When have I ever been great at explaining books? Anyway, I'm having a fabulous time with this book.
Once again, I'm literally I just love it. I'm just having the best time. It'll probably be another 5-star. I know that some people say that the series is not the best, or that the prequel series is better, which I did just I did order the first book in the prequel series on Pango because it was cheaper, and I don't have all of the books yet. I need, I think, the newest book in this series, and then I need the next 2 books in the prequel series, and then I'll have them all. But I need to get them soon because they're not on KU, so I gotta fix that. But anyway, I'm excited to continue on. I'm excited to finish this hopefully by Sunday, so I can get this up by Sunday or Monday, but we'll see. You never know. But anyway, I'm gonna go to my friend's wedding now and have a fabulous time, and I'll see all you fabulous people later. Fun fact, guys, I didn't finish From Blood and Ash in this vlog. I didn't get it done in time. However, I've already read this book, okay? And I am 50% into the book again, and it is a 5-star once again. I'm having the best freaking time. So there's really not that much of an update, but to say that I love this series, I need to continue on to book number 2, and that's really all I need to say. And this other thing that I need to say is that this might be the only good book that we read in this vlog. So just keep going, because there's yet another book that's going to let me down very much. So, sorry I didn't finish this, but you know what? You still love me anyway. Hello friends, my voice is still not back 100%, and it's been 5 days. I just feel like all this congestion is like in my throat, and so it's messing with my voice, but it's fine. Everything's fine. We're adding another book to this vlog. 1, because the vlog's not finished. Sorry, I get tired when I walk up these stairs. But 2, because this book works for this. I didn't predict that it would be in the top 20, only because book 2 came out in February, so I would feel like that book would be in it. But I don't think that this series is going to be in it at all, because like the readership is not happening nearly as much as the first book. And that's A Reign of Rose, which is the 3rd book in the Sacred Stones trilogy, or A Dawn of Onyx. That book was on it last year, and it was the 20th spot. But since then, the other books have not been being read as much, so I think A Promise of Peridot could be on there, but maybe not. But regardless, it might show up on there, so this works. I can add it to this vlog. I will actually have finished this series. Plus, I read the 2nd book with my friends Katie and Sarah, and so this book came out October 8th, and so we decided we were going to read this as well. We're reading about 7 chapters a day so that we can finish in a week. And so we read up to chapter 8 last night, which is about 80 pages, so I'm about 15% of the way through this book. And I'm not going to lie, I totally forgot what had happened. I didn't know what was going on. It took a couple chapters to remember everything. I really wish that books like this had like a summary of this is what happened while you, like from the last book, because this was a little hard to get back into, but I think I'm back into this world. So we do switch back and forth between our main girl Arwen and our main dude Kane. A lot has happened. Obviously I can't say things because I don't want to spoil this series for you, but let's just say it's going to be an interesting ride seeing how this all plays out. But I'm really liking it. Like I said, it did take a minute to get into it, but I feel like I have a hold on what's going on now. So now I'm just waiting for this giant epic battle to happen, because I know that's going to happen in this one. So yeah, we'll see. But this is about 500 pages, so it's a little bit of a chunkier one, but that's my plan. Right now, I'm actually working on making a Halloween product for my classroom. Well, I'm making a fall themed one for my classroom because I can't do Halloween stuff. And then a Halloween one that I'll sell on Teachers by Teachers. So I'm going to do that because I have a busy week coming up. And then I got to get started on the winter show already because I don't have that much time with my kids. It's wild. All right,
I'll talk to you later.
Conversations with Rainy in the car. Shh. I'm hanging out in my car. I finished work early and the babies are sleeping, and so I figured what better way than to just sit in the car in the parking lot and read my pages for yesterday and today, because we're reading 7 chapters a day, which is like anywhere between like 50 to 90 pages. And so I caught up finally, and I just got to page 298. I have about 200 pages left, so I'm 60% in. I'm really bored, which I don't particularly love because this is the last book, and like a lot has to happen in these last 200 pages for me to like care. And I'm frustrated because I got special editions of probably smut of this entire series. I absolutely loved the first one. I ate it up. The second one had its boring moments, but I still had a good time with this. But I think this is my least favorite of them all, which is quite aggravating. I'm also aggravated because I accidentally bent the page backward earlier, and so now it's all creased, and that's just bothering me. I don't know. I'm just not really caring about anything that I'm reading about right now, if we're being honest, which is quite aggravating. I don't know. I've read better romantasy, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But I'm going to keep going with it because I want to finish it. I want to finish my buddy read with my friends. So I'm going to finish it. But I'm just frustrated. Right now, it's like sitting at like a 3, even like a 2.5, which is sad. That's very sad. But anyway, my babies are going to wake up in a couple of minutes. So I'm going to get ready to go over there and pick them up. And then we'll see you guys in a little bit. You know what time it is. What time is it, Lincoln?
No, it's not. It's Saturday.
No, what time is it?
Yesterday was Sunday.
He's not listening. That's not what I meant. I meant it's Conversations with Rainy on the Road. Shh. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, let's talk about A Reign of Rose, friends, because I finished it this morning. Technically, I was supposed to finish it tomorrow because we're reading like 7 chapters a day, but I only had like 40 pages left after the chapters for today, so I just decided to power through and finish it because I wasn't really loving it. And it's between a 3 and a 3.5 star, but I feel like I need to give it a 3 because there were only certain parts of it that I actually really enjoyed. And I feel like a 3.5 is like, oh, like I had a fairly good time, like just, sorry, I'm in the car. Or just 1 or 2 things might not have like flew. My camera decided to wig out on me in the new stand that I have. But anyway, as I was saying, it just wasn't my favorite. I feel like it wrapped up nicely. Like it had a satisfying ending. Linkage. It wrapped up nicely. It had a satisfying ending, but like I just was kind of bored. And in a minute, you can talk in 1 minute. But I think it lost the magic of the first book, honestly, because the first book was great. The second book was kind of like a middle book syndrome slog, and the third book was just meh. And I mean, I'll read other books from this author because I really did love A Dawn of Onyx. I don't know if I just read it at the right time. I don't know, but like I had a really great time with that book. And this one was just really mid, which is sad because I hardly ever finished series, and I finally completed one, and it just was kind of lackluster. So I'm a little saddened by it. What did you want to say, Lincoln?
I wanted to say, on Tuesday when I was at school, guess what?
What?
We went to the Science Museum.
You went to the Science Museum?
It's where the museum where you learn science.
Oh, cool. What'd you learn?
We learned about explosions.
All right, the stand is getting finicky, so I'm about to be done. But anyway, Lincoln wanted to share that with you. But yeah, it was just kind of whatever. We are currently on our way to my friend's house for a Bible study, and I'm picking up drinks beforehand, and I forgot that I had no gas in my car, so now I'm going to be late because they literally live on the other side of town from me. They live like 30-40 minutes away, which is crazy. Anyway, but we're gonna go do that, and then hopefully I'm gonna get my Villains and Vixens spreadsheet done tonight. So I'm working on a spreadsheet for Villains and Vixens, which is the retreat that I'm going to, the book signing retreat in Texas next year. And so I wanted to know which authors were going to be there, and then which authors I definitely want to see, ones that I think I want to prioritize, ones that I'm not sure about. Like, I'll experiment by reading their books. And so I'm compiling it into a spreadsheet along with like pictures of like all of their books, and I'm giving that to like Vanessa and Bree and Katie and Sarah and Amanda. So I'm working on that. I'm on the G's right now. It's taking forever, but we will get there. But anyway, that's what we're going to do for right now. And so I will check in with you. We're going there right now. And I will check in with you later. I'm giving it a 3. But it really should be a 2.5. And I just have a bone to pick with this. Because this book is not a masterpiece by any stretch of the imagination. But it is a fun, fancy, whimsical time. Okay? This one has a bit of middle book syndrome. But still, a fun time. This one, tell me why nothing makes sense. The ending is literally put together in such a way that it would not work. And tell me why I'm just pissed. Tell me why I'm upset. Like, it worked out too perfectly at the end. I was really annoyed. There was a lot of stuff that went on that didn't really make sense. And then my friend Sarah even pointed out that the name of this book makes no sense given how long or how frequent this is in the book. So anyway, I'm very sad because this series went from really good to not great. And I had pre-ordered, there's probably some editions, before I knew that. So now that I have them, and I don't love this series, I'm like, well, I surely don't need 2 of these on my shelves, 2 of this series. I don't even need 1 of this series. So these are currently for sale on my Pango. The first one also comes with an annotation key for it, and I did consider just keeping this one because I really wanted it, but alas, we're not doing that. So anyway, if you're interested, I'll link my Pango underneath here. I'm selling for the same amount that I paid for them. But anyway, that is what I'm doing. So I'm a little saddened by that. A little saddened because I didn't really enjoy any of the books except for From Blood and Ash in this vlog, and that was a reread. I really hated. If we had to rank them in order of least favorite to favorite, let me grab them all. Okay, so this would be the order. So obviously Assistant to Villain is the worst one. And then A Reign of Rose is underneath Bride because I was so disappointed in this ending. And then Bride, and then From Blood and Ash. So this got a 2, a 3, a 3, and a 5. So that's where we're at. Overall, not the greatest vlog known to mankind, but you know what? It's totally fine. So if you got to the end of this video, let's put a blood drop emoji or a wolf emoji. Let me know if you've read any of these books, and I am excited to tell you that the next book that I'm going to be reading in my next vlog is, I will let you know because I had my Patreon vote for it based off of the emojis, and they ended up picking Phantasma for me to read. So I'm very excited that that will be in the next round of this. I'm not entirely sure what other books will be in it yet, but you will get another vlog coming very soon because we are trying to make goals. So if you like more of this content and you want extra content, then make sure to join my Patreon. It's friends themed. We have a great time over there. We do reading sprints, which I'm actually doing right now with my people. We do reading sprints. We have book clubs. We have all of these fun, super special things. Thank you if you are a Patreon. I love you very much. And so with that being said, I will see you guys in a video very soon. Bye.